Ambassador Trelvac walked slowly to the center of the great chamber. His blue crystal skin, once bright and shining, now looked dull and gray. He was tired. His people were dying. The Galactic Council chamber was huge. Hundreds of alien leaders sat in a circle around him. They represented the most powerful species in the galaxy. Trelvac had come to beg for their help. "Honorable members of the council," Trelvac said, his voice shaking. "The Karvash attack my world. They destroy our cities. They kill our people." He showed images on the large screen behind him. Beautiful crystal cities burning. Dead Ilarians in the streets. Ships falling from the sky. "We are peaceful. We have no weapons. We have no armies." Tears formed in his eyes. "Please, help us." The council was silent. Trelvac looked at their faces, hoping to see kindness, but he saw only cold eyes and uncomfortable looks. First to speak was the Zentari representative, a tall, thin alien with purple skin. "We are sorry for your suffering, but we cannot risk war with the Karvash." Next, the Drax Federation's leader, a floating ball of gas inside a metal suit, spoke. "We have trade agreements with the Karvash. We cannot break them." One by one, each member of the council said no. Some made excuses. Some simply said they would not help. Trelvac's last hope died. His shoulders dropped. His people would be gone soon, erased from the galaxy forever. He turned to leave the chamber. "Wait." The voice was new. A female voice, strong and clear. Trelvac turned back. Standing at her seat was a human woman. She wore the blue uniform of the Earth Space Force. Commander Sarah Chen was not tall, but she stood straight and proud. "Earth will help Ilarion," she said. Whispers filled the chamber. The human race was new to space travel. They had only joined the council 20 years ago. Their ships were few. Their weapons were simple compared to other races. The Zentari representative laughed. "Commander Chen, your species is young. You do not understand galactic politics. The Karvash would destroy your little fleet in minutes." Commander Chen walked down to stand beside Trelvac. "Maybe," she said, "but my people know something that you have forgotten." "And what is that?" asked the Drax leader. "We know that some things are worth fighting for, even when you might lose." She put her hand on Trelvac's shoulder. "We know what it's like to face enemies who are stronger. We know what it's like when no one comes to help." Trelvac looked at Chen with new hope in his eyes. "The Ilarians will not die alone," Chen said. "Earth stands with you." The council erupted in angry shouts. Chen ignored them and spoke directly to Trelvac. "How soon can you take me to your world? We have much work to do." For the first time in weeks, Trelvac felt something besides fear. These humans were young and few, but there was something in Commander Chen's eyes that the other races lacked. There was courage there, and determination. Maybe, just maybe, there was hope after all. Commander Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the Earth ship Defiant. Through the large window, she could see the blue-green planet of Ilarion. It was beautiful, but smoke rose from its surface where cities burned. "Commander, we have a call from Earth," said Lieutenant Wang, a young woman who worked at the communication station. Chen nodded. "Put it on screen." The angry face of Admiral Ketri appeared. His dark eyes were narrow, and his mouth was a thin line. "Commander Chen, what have you done?" he shouted. "You promised Earth's help without permission. You have only one ship." "Sir, the Ilarians need us," Chen replied calmly. "Their entire species will die if no one helps." "This is not our fight," said the Admiral. "The Karvash are too powerful. We have only 12 battle-ready ships in our whole fleet. I order you to return to Earth immediately." Chen looked at the burning planet. "Sir, with respect, I cannot do that." "That's an order, Commander." "I understand, sir." Chen nodded to Wang, who cut the transmission. Captain Rodriguez, the leader of Earth's small team of soldiers, looked at Chen. "He's right, you know. The Karvash have hundreds of ships. We have one. Then we'll have to be smarter than them, Chen said. She turned to face her crew. I know what our orders are, but I also know what's right. Who stands with me? One by one, the crew members stood up. No one remained seated. Later that day, Chen met with Trelvac and the last surviving leaders of his people. They gathered in a crystal building that somehow still stood among the ruins of the capital city. Thank you for coming, said an old Illyrian with white crystal skin. I am High Elder Korban. We feared no one would help us. Why do the Karvash attack you? Chen asked. A younger Illyrian woman stepped forward. I am Selmira, daughter of Trelvac. I am a scientist. I have discovered something terrible about the Karvash. She showed them images on a crystal screen. The Karvash ships were not just destroying cities. They were drilling deep into the planet. They are not just conquering, Selmira explained. They are harvesting. They take all life, all organic matter, to feed their hive mind. Chen felt cold. How many ships do they have? Selmira looked down. Our latest scans show over 500 ships heading to Illyrian, 10 times more than we first thought. The room fell silent. Chen's communication device beeped. It was a message from Earth. She read it, and her face grew hard. New orders? Rodriguez asked. Chen nodded. We are to withdraw immediately or face arrest for disobeying direct orders. What will you do? Trelvac asked, fear in his eyes. Chen turned off her device. Sometimes doing what's right means breaking the rules. She looked at each person in the room. We stay and fight. The Illyrians will not face this alone. For the first time, Trelvac smiled. It was small, but it was there. Now, said Chen, let's figure out how to stop 500 ships with one. Captain Malik Rodriguez stood in an open field, surrounded by 50 Illyrians. Their crystal bodies shimmered in the morning light. They looked beautiful, but they had never fought a war before. Pick up your weapons, Rodriguez said. The Illyrians looked at the simple metal staffs on the ground. They picked them up awkwardly. We are scientists and artists, one of them said. Not soldiers. Rodriguez nodded. I know, but sometimes we must become what we need to be. He showed them how to hold the weapons. The Karvash will come soon. You must be ready. On the other side of the city, Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka worked with Selmira in a laboratory. The human engineer and the Illyrian scientist made an unusual team. Your biotechnology is amazing, Tanaka said, looking at the living metal that Illyrians use to build things. If we combine it with our weapons, we might have a chance. Selmira's crystal hands moved quickly over the controls. The living metal responds to thought. If we connect it to your weapons, they could react faster than any computer. Alarms suddenly rang throughout the city. Commander Chen's voice came over the speakers. All teams, prepare for contact. Karvash scout ships approaching. Chen stood on the bridge of the Defiant, watching the enemy ships appear from space. They looked like giant metal insects. 3 huge vessels, each 10 times bigger than her ship. Should we try to talk to them? Lieutenant Wang asked. Chen nodded. We should try. Open a channel. Wang sent messages in all known languages. The Karvash ships did not respond. They moved closer to the planet. They're scanning the surface, an officer reported, looking for something. Chen made her decision. Target their scanning arrays. Fire when ready. The Defiant's weapons fired. Blue energy hit the first Karvash ship, cutting through its scanners. The huge ship turned toward them. They're powering weapons, Wang shouted. Evasive action, Chen ordered. The Defiant moved just as the enemy fired. The shot missed by meters. On the planet, Rodriguez saw the battle in space. Get ready, he told his Illyrian fighters. They'll send ground forces soon. Small Karvash ships started landing near the city. When they opened, strange creatures came out. They looked like insects walking on 2 legs, with 4 arms and black armor. Hold your position, Rodriguez told the nervous Illyrians. Let them come closer. In the lab, Selmira suddenly gasped. I know what they want. She showed Tanaka a scan of the planet. They're not just taking any organic matter. They want us specifically. Ilarian bodies contain a rare element that their hive mind needs. Tanaka looked grim. Then we need to finish our work quickly. In space, the battle grew fierce. The Defiant moved in unpredictable patterns, confusing the Karvash ships. 2 more human ships arrived, sent secretly by Admiral Katri, despite his official orders. Chen smiled. Looks like Earth hasn't abandoned us after all. The humans destroyed 1 Karvash scout ship, then another. The 3rd retreated to space. But as they celebrated, long-range sensors showed something terrible. The main Karvash fleet had arrived early. Hundreds of ships filled the sky like dark stars. The real battle was about to begin. The sky turned black with Karvash ships. They blocked the sun like metal clouds. Commander Chen looked at the enemy fleet and took a deep breath. Her 3 human ships seemed tiny against hundreds of enemy vessels. We need a plan, she said to her officers. We can't match their numbers. Lieutenant Wang spoke up. On Earth, ancient navies sometimes used tricks when fighting bigger forces. They would split up to look like more ships. Chen nodded. Good idea. We'll divide our ships to confuse them, and we'll focus all our attacks on their leadership. In the crystal forests outside the capital city, Captain Rodriguez and his Ilarian fighters hid among the trees. The forest glowed with soft blue light, making good hiding places. Stay low and quiet, Rodriguez told them. When the enemy passes, attack from behind. Karvash soldiers marched through the forest, their insect-like bodies moving in perfect order. They did not look left or right. That was their mistake. Now, Rodriguez shouted. His fighters jumped from hiding places and attacked. The surprised Karvash fell back. In space, the 3 human ships split into different directions. They fired weapons, then quickly moved to new positions. To the Karvash, it looked like more ships than there really were. It's working, Chen said. They're confused. Now target their lead ship. All 3 human ships fired at once at the biggest Karvash vessel. Their weapons hit it hard, but did not destroy it. Suddenly, a communication came in. Chen was surprised to see Admiral Katri's face on the screen. Commander Chen, he said, looks like you need help. 3 more Earth ships appeared from space. Chen smiled. Admiral, I thought you ordered us to leave. I did, Katri said. But the Security Council voted again. Earth stands with Ilarion, officially now. I brought all the ships we could spare. The battle grew more intense. The Karvash recovered from their confusion and attacked with full force. Human ships took heavy damage. In the laboratory, Selmira made an important discovery. The Karvash communicate through a special frequency, she told Dr. Tanaka. If we broadcast a counter-frequency, we might disrupt their connection. They quickly built a transmitter and turned it on. Across the battlefield, Karvash soldiers suddenly stopped moving together. Their perfect order broke down. It's working, Tanaka said, but it won't last long. They'll adapt soon. Chen used this advantage to evacuate thousands of Ilarians to underground shelters. But as night fell, the Karvash pushed forward again. The capital city was surrounded. We need to fall back to the mountains, Rodriguez told Chen over the radio. We can't hold the city. Chen gave the order to retreat. As darkness covered the land, the beautiful crystal buildings of the Ilarian capital fell to the invaders. The defenders, human and Ilarian together, escaped to the mountain caves. The first battle was lost, but the war had just begun. The mountain caves were cold and dark. Thousands of Ilarian refugees huddled together, their crystal bodies giving off a soft light. Commander Chen met with Admiral Katri, Trelvac, and the other leaders. We can't stay here, Chen said. The Karvash will find us soon. Trelvac nodded sadly. My world is lost. We must save my people. Admiral Katri showed them a map of the galaxy. We can take the survivors to Earth's colonies. They're far from here. Operation Diaspora, Chen said. We'll use all our ships to evacuate as many Illyrians as possible. For 3 days, they loaded Illyrian refugees onto ships. They also took seeds, historical records, and genetic samples. The history and future of a species packed into a few vessels. We're ready, Trelvac told Chen, as the last ship was loaded. His eyes were sad but determined. My people will never forget what humans have done for us. The small fleet left Illyrian, slipping past Karvash patrols. They entered deep space, heading for Earth's distant colonies. 2 days into their journey, Lieutenant Wong detected new ships approaching. They're not Karvash, she reported. They're Vrol vessels. The Vrol were one of the powerful species that had refused to help Illyrian. Their ships were large and sleek, painted deep purple. A message came in. On the screen appeared the face of Supreme Tactician Zeklorn, the leader of the Vrol fleet. His skin was gray and his eyes had no pupils. Commander Chen, he said, we offer our assistance. The Vrol Confederacy has reconsidered its position on the Illyrian crisis. Chen didn't trust him, but they needed help. Thank you. We accept your offer. The human and Illyrian ships docked with the large Vrol station. Chen, Trelvac, and a small team went aboard to meet Zeklorn. The Vrol leader greeted them in a grand hall. Welcome, friends, he said, but his smile didn't reach his eyes. Chen noticed armed Vrol soldiers entering the room. She gave a silent signal to Lieutenant Wong. Why do you need so many guards, Supreme Tactician? Chen asked. Zeklorn's fake smile disappeared. Because you are not guests. You are prisoners. The Karvash have promised to spare Vrol worlds if we give them the Illyrians. Trelvac stepped forward. You would trade our lives for your safety. The survival of my species comes first, Zeklorn said coldly. Chen touched a button on her wrist. Now, Lieutenant. Suddenly, from the supposedly unarmed human shuttle, a team of Earth Marines appeared, weapons ready. They had been hiding inside a secret compartment. Protocol Trojan Horse, Chen explained to the surprised Zeklorn. Never trust someone who refused to help you the first time. The Marines quickly took control of the station. Chen found the station's computer and discovered something terrible. Look at this, she told Trelvac. The Vrol aren't the only ones. 6 other species signed agreements with the Karvash. They all agreed to help hunt down the Illyrians. Trelvac's face showed his pain. The galaxy has abandoned us. Chen put her hand on his shoulder. Not all of it. Humans still stand with you, and we'll make sure you survive, no matter what it takes. They took supplies from the Vrol station and continued their journey, now knowing they had even more enemies than before. Where can we go now? Trelvac asked as their ships moved through deep space. If so many species are hunting us, nowhere is safe. Selmira, who had been listening quietly, spoke up. There might be one place. She showed them an old Illyrian star chart. Centaur IV. Our ancestors built an outpost there thousands of years ago. It was abandoned and forgotten. Why would it be safe? Admiral Katri asked. It lies inside the Crimson Nebula. Selmira explained. The nebula blocks most scans and is dangerous to navigate. Few remember the safe path through it. Chen nodded. Then that's where we'll go. The journey to Centaur IV was difficult. The nebula glowed red like fire, with gases that damaged ships. But Selmira guided them through safely. Centaur IV was a small planet with blue oceans and green forests. As they landed, they found ruins of ancient Illyrian buildings covered in plants. Our ancestors were here, Trelvac said with wonder. We can rebuild. Captain Rodriguez organized the refugees into work teams. Some cleared the ruins, others set up defenses. The human engineers helped restore old Illyrian technology they found. Dr. Tanaka and Selmira continued their research on the Karvash. Their hive mind has levels, Selmira explained, showing him a diagram. If we can target the control centers, we might break their network. But not everything went smoothly. Food was limited, and some humans and Illyrians argued over supplies. "We're hungry too," a human engineer complained. "Why should they get more?" "Because they've lost everything," another human answered. "We still have Earth." Lieutenant Wong saw the growing tension and had an idea. "We need to understand each other better," she told Chen. She started a program where humans and Illyrians taught each other about their cultures. They shared stories, songs, and knowledge. Humans taught Illyrians Earth games. Illyrians showed humans how their crystal art worked. Friendships formed, and even some romances between the species. One evening, Admiral Katri received a message from Earth. His face grew dark as he read it. "What's wrong?" Chen asked. "The Galactic Council has officially condemned Earth for helping Illyrian," he said. "They've banned all trade with human colonies. They say we violated neutrality laws." Chen shook her head. "There's nothing neutral about watching a species die." Katri showed her the message. "I've been ordered to appear before the Council. I'm going to tell them exactly what I think of their moral failure." As Chatri prepared to leave with one ship, their long-range sensors detected something alarming. "Karvosh scout ships," Wong reported. "They're searching nearby systems in a pattern. They haven't found us yet, but they're getting closer." Trollvac looked at the sensor display with worry. "How long do we have?" "Maybe a few months," Chen answered. "We need to be ready when they find us." Selmira placed a crystal on the table. It glowed with a strange light. "Then we need to work faster. I think I found a weakness in their hive mind. We just need time to develop a weapon that can exploit it." As the sun set on Centaur IV, humans and Illyrians worked together, racing against time, knowing that somewhere out there, the enemy was searching for them. 6 months passed. On Illyrian Prime, the Karvosh had changed the once beautiful world. They covered it with strange black structures that looked like giant hives. The crystal forests were gone. The blue oceans had turned gray. On Centaur IV, Selmira ran into the meeting room, her crystal skin glowing with excitement. "I've done it," she said, holding up a small tube filled with blue liquid, a virus that can disrupt the Karvosh hive mind. Commander Chen, Trollvac, and the others gathered around. "How does it work?" Chen asked. "It attacks the connection between Karvosh soldiers and our control nodes," Selmira explained. "But there's a problem. It must be delivered directly to each main node." Dr. Tanaka nodded. "We've identified 5 control nodes on Illyrian Prime. We must hit all of them at once, or the hive mind will adapt." Chen looked at the map of her former homeworld. "That means 5 teams, 5 ships, a direct attack." Good news came from Earth. Despite the Galactic Council's ban, humans had sent more ships and volunteers to help. They arrived secretly, using paths through the nebula that the Illyrians had taught them. "It's still not enough," Rodriguez said, counting their forces. "We have 10 ships now. The Karvosh have hundreds." Chen studied the map. "We don't need to defeat their whole fleet. We just need to reach the control nodes." She pointed to the central node in what was once the Illyrian capital. "I'll lead the strike team to this one. It's the most important." Trollvac stood up. "I will go with you." "It's too dangerous," Chen argued. "You're the Illyrian leader." "Which is why I must go," Trollvac replied. "My people need to know I'm willing to fight for them." The next day, the small fleet left Centaur IV. They used the nebula to hide their approach to Illyrian Prime. The 5 strike teams prepared for their missions. Chen, Trollvac, and their team boarded a small, fast ship. As they approached Illyrian, Karvosh vessels detected them and attacked. "Evasive action," Chen ordered. Their ship moved sharply, avoiding enemy fire. But a blast hit their engine. "We're hit," the pilot shouted. "We have to land now." Their ship crashed in a forest clearing, 30 kilometers from the central node. Chen checked her team. 3 were injured, but no one was dead. The communication system is destroyed, the radio operator said. We can't contact the other teams. Chen looked at her team. Then we walk 30 kilometers through enemy territory. As they moved through the ruins of Ilarion, they found something unexpected. Ilarians who had survived the invasion. They lived in hidden underground shelters, fighting a secret war against the invaders. We thought all Ilarians had fled or died. Chen told their leader, an old fighter named Jormel. Many died, Jormel said. Many were taken, but some of us stayed to fight. Taken? Trelvac asked. Taken where? Jormel's face darkened. To the central node. The Karvosh are doing experiments on our people, changing them into something terrible. What kind of experiments? Chen asked. They're turning Ilarians into living weapons, Jormel answered. Half Ilarian, half Karvosh. Controlled by the hive mind. Trelvac gasped. We must stop them. Chen checked her weapon. And we will. The central node is our target. Their mission had just become even more important and more dangerous. While Commander Chen and Trelvac fought on Ilarion Prime, Admiral Ketri was fighting a different battle. He stood before the leaders of many worlds, showing them images of Ilarion's destruction. The Karvosh are not just conquering, he told them. They are consuming entire planets. Today it is Ilarion. Tomorrow it could be your world. The leaders looked uncomfortable. The Vrol say the humans exaggerate, one said. Katri played a recording of Zeklorn's betrayal. The Vrol made a deal with the Karvosh. They trade the lives of others for their own safety. This caused an uproar. Katri continued, I'm not speaking to governments now. I'm speaking to people. His message was broadcast to billions across the galaxy. Ask yourselves, is this the galaxy you want to live in, where we abandon those in need? The message spread quickly. On many worlds, people began to question their leaders. Some organized protests. Others prepared ships to help the Ilarians. On Centaur IV, trouble arrived. Lieutenant Wong detected a Karvosh scout ship approaching their hidden colony. They found us, she told Captain Rodriguez. They organized the colony's defenses quickly. The scout ship landed, and Karvosh soldiers attacked. The humans and Ilarians fought bravely. Rodriguez led a team that destroyed the enemy ship, but not before it sent a message to the main fleet. Our location is compromised, Wong said. We need to evacuate. Dr. Tanaka and Selmira worked frantically in their laboratory. We've improved the virus, Tanaka said. It's stronger now, but it needs a massive power source to affect an entire fleet. Where can we find such power? Selmira asked. The answer came from an unexpected place. A ship arrived from the Telarian Republic, one of the species that had refused to help Ilarion initially. Our government still refuses to act, the Telarian captain said. But our people don't agree. We bring advanced energy cores for your use. Other ships followed, bringing volunteers and supplies from a dozen worlds. On Ilarion Prime, Chen's team fought their way closer to the central node. They moved through dark tunnels under the city, guided by Jormel's fighters. The central chamber is ahead, Jormel whispered, but it's heavily guarded. As they prepared to attack, they heard a strange sound. From the shadows came a creature that was half Ilarion, half machine. Its crystal skin was broken by metal parts, and its eyes glowed red. Stop, it said in a voice that sounded familiar to Trelvac. He moved closer, his eyes wide with shock. Merlana, he whispered. The creature's eyes flickered from red to blue. Vac. My mate, Trelvac said, his voice breaking. I thought you died in the first attack. They changed me, she struggled to say. The red glow fought with the blue in her eyes. The hive controls us, but sometimes we remember. Chen watched sadly as Trelvac approached his transformed mate. Can we help her? He asked. Chen shook her head. The changes are too deep, but she might help us. Miralana fought against the hive control. Central chamber. I can show you a way in. Her body shook with effort. But hurry. I can't fight them long. A massive Karvash fleet descended on Centaur IV. Hundreds of ships filled the sky like dark stars. On the ground, the last transport ships were loading refugees. We can't get everyone out in time. Lieutenant Wong told Rodriguez. We need more time. Rodriguez looked at the small line of human ships in orbit. Then we give them time. We hold off the Karvash as long as we can. The human ships moved into defensive positions. Everyone knew they couldn't win. They only hoped to save as many people as possible. The Karvash fleet came closer. The first shots were fired. Human ships dodged and returned fire, but they were too few against too many. Then strange things happened in space. The stars seemed to bend. Holes opened in the blackness. Through these holes came ships, Earth ships, dozens of them. Admiral Catri's voice came over the radio. Sorry we're late, he said. We brought everyone we could find. But the Earth fleet wasn't alone. Behind them came ships of many designs and colors. Some were small and fast. Others were large and powerful. They were from a dozen different species. Who are they? Wong asked in wonder. Volunteers, Chatri answered. From worlds across the galaxy. They came because they believe what we believe, that no species should face extinction alone. The space battle became the largest in galactic history. Ships fired and exploded like a storm of light. On Illyrian Prime, Commander Chen's team followed Miralana through hidden tunnels into the central node. The massive structure hummed with power. At its center was a glowing crystal that pulsed like a heart. That's the control core, Miralana said weakly. Her eyes flashed between blue and red as she fought the hive mind. Destroy it. Karvash guards discovered them. A fierce fight began. Chen and her team pushed forward, but there were too many enemies. Trollvac was hit by enemy fire. He fell, blue blood flowing from his chest. Chen ran to him. Leave me, he said. Complete the mission. We don't leave anyone behind. Chen replied, lifting him up. More guards came. The situation looked hopeless. Then Miralana stepped forward. Go, she told them. I will hold them back. Trollvac reached for her. Miralana. No. This is my choice, she said, her eyes fully blue for a moment. Let me do this one last thing as myself. She turned and attacked the guards, giving Chen's team time to reach the control core. Chen placed the virus container against the crystal. It glowed brightly, then sent blue light pulsing through the entire structure. Across the planet, Karvash soldiers suddenly stopped moving together. Their perfect order broke. The other teams must have reached their targets too. In space above Centaur IV, the Karvash ships lost their coordination. Their attacks became random and confused. It's working, Rodriguez shouted. The virus is spreading through their network. The Allied ships pressed their attack. One by one, the Karvash vessels fell or retreated. In the central node, Trollvac lay dying in Chen's arms. Did we succeed? He asked. Chen nodded, tears in her eyes. Yes, your people will live. Trollvac smiled weakly. Then it was worth it. He touched Chen's hand. You who were strangers have become family. The stars will remember. His eyes closed for the last time. 1 year later, Selmira stood in the great chamber of the Galactic Council. She wore the blue sash of an ambassador, just as her father Trollvac had worn. But this time, the council members did not look down at her with cold eyes. They looked at her with respect. The rebuilding of Illyrian Prime has begun, she told them. It will take generations to heal our world completely, but we have hope now. The Karvash threat was over. When the virus broke the hive mind, it split into thousands of separate pieces. The creatures that had once been deadly invaders were now confused and lost. We have learned that the Karvash were not always destroyers, Selmira continued. They were peaceful beings before the hive mind took control. Now many are recovering their old selves. Admiral Katri, now an old man with gray hair, nodded in agreement. Our scientists are helping the freed Karvash build new lives. They are victims too, in their way. Commander Chen, now Admiral Chen, sat in the human representative's chair. Her uniform had more medals now, but her eyes were the same, strong and determined. The Galactic Council had changed. The old leaders who had refused to help Ilarion were gone, replaced by those who believed in helping others. Even the Vrul had a new leader who had apologized for Zeklorn's betrayal. We must ensure this never happens again, Chen told the council. No species should face extinction while others watch and do nothing. They rewrote the Galactic Charter. Its first rule now said, all species will defend each other against threats to their existence. It was called the Ilarion Principle. Species that had once looked down on humans now asked for their advice. Earth became known for its courage and wisdom. Humans and Ilarions worked together on many projects, their friendship stronger than ever. After the meeting, Chen and Selmira walked together in a garden. Crystal flowers grew alongside earth plants, their colors mixing beautifully. Your father would be proud, Chen told Selmira. He would be proud of all of us, Selmira replied. Humans and Ilarions changed the galaxy together. Suddenly, their communication devices beeped with an urgent message. A new distress call had reached the council. Another civilization under attack by a different threat. Chen and Selmira hurried back to the chamber. One by one, every council member stood to offer help without hesitation. This is the difference, Selmira whispered to Chen. Before, we stood alone. Now everyone stands together. Chen thought of Trelvac and all those who had died so this day could come. She remembered his last words. The stars will remember. As ships from 100 worlds prepared to help the endangered civilization, Chen knew those words were true. The stars would remember how a single act of courage, humans standing with Ilarions when no one else would, had changed the galaxy forever. From that day forward, no species ever had to plead in vain for help again. When danger came, they were never alone. The end.